Hello, my name's Andrew Van Lint. I'm a haematologist and general physician working in the Northern Adelaide Local Health Network. I'm also a clinical educator and I love using video as a great medium for reaching our students and learners. Today I'd love to talk to you about the potential applications of video in education, whether that be at an undergraduate or university level, or whether it be in a postgraduate or training type of level. And regardless of whichever kind of health discipline that you're teaching into, I think video is a great medium and we need to move with the times and produce more video content. I want to talk specifically about the benefits that video has in terms of teaching and complementing with face-to-face teaching. I also want to talk about how you might get started if you're not familiar with how to make videos. There is a little bit of a barrier to entry, but it's easily overcome, and most of my training has been through YouTube teaching me which equipment to buy and how to do the editing and what works and what doesn't work, and I want to give you a few of those tips. There's a lot of potential applications for video in education. Let's break them up between online versus in-person use. So in terms of online, there are lots of opportunities for orientation videos, whether that be orientation to a course or orientation to a clinical placement or clinical rotation. Even for new staff, video is a great opportunity where it doesn't rely on specific staff being available at specific times and the ability to really well prepare someone for starting their new placement or their course before they've even set foot in the building. We've done that with all 35 of our intern rotations in the Northern Adelaide Local Health Network, and they've been of great benefit. You can have video as a big part of your online courses, complementing written text, complementing pictures, and complementing quizzes and other interactive activities. Video can tell a great story and provide access to patients and clinicians that can communicate a lot and add to the educational experience. It's also a great opportunity to show skills. We often think of the see one, do one, teach one, but what if you actually viewed one online or via video before you've even seen it in real life? Being able to do it in a very controlled and excellent manner with written prompts as well as audible prompts by someone talking you through the procedure is a great way to learn procedures before you're at the bedside. In terms of in-person benefits, video has been a really powerful game changer in the way that I do my teaching as I've shifted towards a flipped classroom model, where the video provides most of the one-directional teaching prior to the session, and then I try and maximize the time I have in person with the trainees or the students by using that time for clinical application. And I find the students that have watched the video and attempted the cases are really well engaged with the subject material. They ask fantastic and in-depth questions and are able to apply the knowledge that they've learned through the video to clinical applications that then they can do in real clinical practice. Video can be a really powerful preparatory material. Imagine having a video that sets the scene for the simulation that you're going to go into, ideally with the actual characters and actors that are about to be in that real simulation session, followed up by a really in-depth debrief to cement that learning. Lastly, you don't have to be using it just for preparatory materials. You can use video in session as a great way to break up the session because people's attention spans are generally 10 to 20 minutes, and so doing a lecture can be really well broken up with a video of a particular example, and you can talk about what you've seen in the video, perhaps a clinical encounter or the like. There is so much educational material available to students these days, often in superior quality to that provided by educational institutions. If we're wanting to be able to provide our students with the best possible education, we need to move to video, and we need to take steps to make our content somewhat competitive, or at least comparable with that is available for free elsewhere. It's really convenient with access. You can watch these anytime, any place, and some of them can be made available unlisted on YouTube, so you literally don't even have to log in. You can also have the chance to produce the best version of the way that you deliver your teaching, so that it's always recorded and you're really giving them the best quality that's not dependent on you being at your best for that in-person session that's done every 3 months. My vision for using video in educational spaces is to move content delivery online into video format, away from written format or just recorded lectures, and complementing other online methods of engagement and interaction that students can have access to. As we do this, we can focus more of our in-person time to the application of the skills and knowledge, not the acquisition of the skills and knowledge. And we also can focus more of that time on simulation training, which is again applying it to potentially real clinical practice. and that is the best way to prepare our students and learners for the real world in the workplaces that they'll be in soon. The main barriers are time, experience, and equipment, but these things can be overcome and are generally a good investment long-term to actually save time and improve quality at the same time. Let's talk a little bit about how to get started. So a great way to get started is considering aiming for a 5, 10, or 20-minute duration video. In terms of equipment, you need a camera, you need sound, and you need lighting. You also need to consider the environment that you're filming in and have a think about how you're going to edit it. Let's break down each of those now. In terms of equipment, almost everyone has a smartphone, and most smartphones made in the last 5 years actually have very high quality cameras and decent quality microphones, especially if it's used in an acoustically quiet environment. It's a great way to start. Many people already have a DSLR camera that has video capacity, and that's how I started with my content, starting with the DSLR that I had for holidays and other activities. Then you may upgrade, as I have with time, to a dedicated camera and lens. In terms of microphone, most cameras and phones have an inbuilt microphone that is okay if used in the right environment. However, it's really easy and affordable to increase your audio quality, and it starts as basic as $20 on Amazon. Even for as low as $100, you can start with a vlog kit that will contain a stand for your smartphone, a plug-in microphone, and a light. This can be a really great way to improve the quality just using a smartphone, and both for $100. If you're taking things a bit more seriously, as I've done, I've purchased a Sennheiser MKE 600 shotgun microphone, and there are other competing products by Rode, Shure, and other providers, and these can be anywhere between $100 and $500. You can then also consider, if you've got more than one person talking or you're doing an interview, using wireless lapel microphones, which originally were several $100s to get entry into the market, but these days you can buy them for as little as $50. Let's think about lighting now. A really cheap way is to use natural light. So my office here doesn't actually have a window, but many places that you might use for recording, even if you're just borrowing it for an hour to do the recording, have a good window, and sitting next to the window and using that natural light coming through the window is a cheap and effective way to have good lighting. You don't want to be recording in a dark way where your face is not well lit up and people can't engage it, because the whole point of doing a video over a recorded lecture is so that people can interact with you on a human level, even if it's via video. You can also very cheaply from Bunnings and other places buy lamps that have LED lights. Be aware that you want to have a balance of that kind of bluish white light with the kind of warmer redder and orange light. So work out the right kind of balance of those. Generally you want a little bit of warmth, but not too much. It would be easy to go onto Amazon and buy some what's called soft lighting. I've used one here that's behind the camera. That's an LED based light that uses a soft diffuser to give you that non-harsh light that will light up the content effectively. Thinking about the environment, you really want somewhere that you're not going to be interrupted either by someone coming into the environment, but interrupted by sounds nearby either. Think about the acoustics of the environment. You want someone that's going to be nice and quiet and minimal echo, so the quality of your voice can be richer and fuller. Think about what your viewers are seeing behind you. Generally something that is either simple or kind of interesting, as I've done here with things on the bookshelf and posters and lights, is the best way to go. Neither do you want to have a background that looks like no care has been put into the actual video production. Let's talk about editing to finish. Basic editing can be accomplished on a number of different platforms today, and there's more pretty much by the month. So you can literally Google free editing software and see there's a whole range of really good quality products available today for you to download. And then if you're a Mac user, generally Macs come free with iMovie, which is actually quite a high quality product, reasonably intuitive to use for first timers. If you're a PC user with Microsoft, they now have a product that's called Clipchamp, which is pretty easy to use as well and can be customized according to what you're trying to achieve. If you're looking at doing a bit more advanced editing, you can purchase better products like Adobe's Premiere Pro and Final Cut Pro that are generally very high quality products and have a lot of tutorials online to allow you to quickly upskill in their use. You can also outsource your editing. You can easily find local editors via Google, or you can find overseas editors that generally are going to be more affordable, particularly on an educational budget. Lastly, think about the music that's being used and the licensing for that music. You need a license for most kind of popular music that's available on the radio, but there's a lot of free music that's available by subscription to a particular service or for free through places like the YouTube audio library, where you can use it without having to recognize or license the particular product. A choice to have no music can be really powerful to focus on the pure content, but most of the time when you're delivering teaching content, adding some music can actually create a bit of an ambient feeling that engages the viewer in different ways. So in summary, there's lots of potential applications for video in education, whether it be online or it be in person, used in person or as preparatory material. There's a lot of benefits to video in terms of improving the engagement of your learners, the convenience of access, and the better quality of product that you can deliver. I hope this is helpful, and if you want to see more, you can find a whole bunch of stuff on YouTube, and you can find me on YouTube and other platforms under MedEd with Andrew. See you soon.